This is a request from a fan on my Instagram. So if you have a article or topic you want me to cover, hit me up on Instagram at JamesPhillip313 and send me a news link. Um, on this topic, not surprised. I stayed at a hotel once in Chicago that would have a robot come to your door and drop shit off. They'd bring in like a newspaper. I got there and it's like, hey, can that thing drop me off a couple Don Julio margaritas? Like, I need at least two after that drive. And cool stuff, technology based. Do you need someone running up and down floors? It makes me wonder the amount of time spent having to program these things, deal with them. It might just be faster to have someone run the stuff up there. But in this case, when you don't have anyone to work, you're going to get replaced with robots. The bigger issue here is I'm someone that, reoccurring theme on my channel is my upbringing and where I came from. And we didn't have a lot of money at times. And there was no talk of going to college. And my parents didn't make it past the eighth grade in high school. So where I came from, there were no bad jobs. There's jobs that quote unquote sucked, right? A lot of times the sucky jobs paid more money though. So I've always had to believe that even a low paying job or a crappy job is better than no job. I'm not someone that thought that the government was going to come save me. We've had, people in my neighborhood, family that lived off welfare. I never wanted to settle for what someone else was willing to give me, if this makes any sense. I would rather just go work the worst job in the world and kind of be in control of my own life. So I always believed even low paying jobs are better than no jobs. And that's where we're going right now. When these restaurants and the hospitality industry can't get workers, they start replacing you with technology. When the workers want 25 bucks an hour to make a sandwich, you get replaced with a robot. When you want 22 bucks an hour to sit at a cash register where you can't even smile, you get replaced with a robot. And my big concern is what happens is that the, those crappy jobs, the Mick jobs, what is what you want to call them, they don't exist anymore. So if you are poor, if you are trying to climb out of the hole, if you don't have a lot of money, the worst thing for you is not being able to find a job at all. And that's where we're going, man. Um, Without these kind of jobs, people will suffer unless they get money from the government. And I think what we learned in the last 18 months during COVID here is this is what happens when people get just enough money to live, is that they don't work at all. And that's my experiences where I grew up. People would rather struggle. If they could get just enough to get by, they would choose to struggle than go work. So for example, if you can get 1,200 bucks a month from unemployment, but you can make 1,900 bucks a month working in a warehouse, but the unemployment money was just enough to leave you a dollar at the end of the month, people will choose to just sit home. Um, so we're going to be faced with there's not any jobs out there, even Mick jobs, and then you're going to have a bunch of people living off the government, which means they're also not being productive members of society, right? You're only consuming. And on another show, Kane and I talk about this, where what happens when you have more people consuming than those contributing to society, and then that's where we're at, where you see there's supply chain shortages, we are over consuming, we're buying too much stuff, and we have too many people consuming without contributing. So many things are concerning right now, far beyond the fact that the robot has to come sing happy birthday to you because you can't even get that anymore. Um, my solution to everything is make sure people have jobs. During I lived through four presidents. At the end of the day, I don't trust history books. It's listening to a professor or a teacher give me their side of the story or a book that was slanted one way or the other. It's really hard to evaluate anything um, without actually living through it. So what I do is I measure things by everything that I experience, such as As an adult, I lived through Clinton, through Bush, through Obama, through Trump, and now Biden. This is the only real things that I know because I've seen them and touched them and smelled them. No secondhand regurgitation here. And I see it all the way back in the Clinton years when technology was booming. It started creating a lot of jobs, and then when everyone was getting paid, things were kind of good. When there was opportunities out there, things were good. Now, when I was 17, 18 years old, and it was like Trading Times or some shit that paper was, you would scroll through there and you would sort jobs by how much they paid an hour, not what they were. You didn't care what you did. You just wanted to make the most money possible. You do the crappiest job on the planet just to get some more cash. That's how we had to think. There was no, I'm going to go to college and I'm supposed to make $50,000 according to what, it doesn't work that way where I come from. But when there's no jobs for you, it sucked. When you just keep looking and looking and there's no jobs where I was at, there was no way out. And what I learned is even the crappiest job was a way out if you worked hard and saved your money. I worked 2 or 3 jobs when I could find them. So I don't like where technology is going because I think it starts robbing, not even middle class, the working class and below. It robs them of opportunities to go provide for themselves. And it may not be a glamorous life, but you can at least put food on the table and take care of yourself and your family, which I'll do more episodes on this, but I do think as a country, there's this, art of providing for yourself that we have lost. And we're almost looking for someone else to take care of us now, instead of just going out and getting it on our own. It is an eat what you kill world. I never want to live in a world where I had to eat what somebody else killed. Maybe I don't want that for dinner tonight. So that's just who I am. But you have to have jobs out there for people to dig themselves out, to give them a way out. The one thing you got to understand is, and this is where I know a lot of people who grew up on government welfare, you don't escape that trap. The welfare never gives you a way out. It gives you just enough to survive, but there's never a path to something better. And believe it or not, that job at the restaurant, even at McDonald's, is a way out. If you work hard, you gain skills, you get money, you can move up, you can go to another place. There is no moving up the government ladder. And I don't think we understand that. At least some people don't understand that. So I really don't like having happy birthday sung to me at the restaurant anyways. But if this thing shows up, well, at least bring me a margarita. And maybe a shot of Don Julio. Yeah, anyways, if you want me to cover a story, if you want me to cover some news, any life, dating, relationship, business, whatever topic, send me a note on Instagram at JamesPhillip313, and I'll try to get you on here. Until then, I'm going to catch you.